Hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Starting off today with big rumours going around about Alexander Lacazette. Now, you know who he is. I've been going on about him for the past couple of years here on Transfer Daily. We've been linked with him for an eternity. Now being linked with him again, this time lots of rumours flying around various papers, linking us with him with a £50 million move. I remember when we was first getting linked with Lacazette, it was like 25 million, 30 million, and we was refusing to pay that. Now we're being told it could be up towards £50 million for Lacazette. We've been told that Gazidis and Wenger, remember a couple of days ago, they were pictured over in Nice, and there was lots of speculation. They've gone to see Mbappe, are they seeing Jean Serry's agent? Well, there's lots of speculations that they met with the Lyon president, Jean-Michel Alios, to thrash out a deal to try and bring Lacazette to Arsenal. The deal said to be worth round about £50 million or up towards that sort of figure, and his wages would be nearly £200,000 a week. The prices of these players are going absolutely through the roof. Now, Lacazette, you know, a few weeks ago, he was lined up to go to Atletico Madrid. He can't move to Atletico Madrid now because Atletico Madrid have got this transfer ban. He had previously said that he'd only really want to move to a club that's got Champions League football. But yesterday he was making noises saying that, listen, if the club's big enough, I'd move there. You know, playing in the Premier League, I'd really fancy that. And there is a possibility that Arsenal could be in for Alexander Lacazette. He scored a lot of goals last season in all competitions. He scores a lot of goals every season. I think you have to say now that he is a proven goal scorer. Year in, year out, he always gets 20 plus. I know you might say it's the French league, but he's doing it every year. And he's definitely a marksman out there. And would he be what Arsenal needs? I think personally, and I said it last year, that he would be a good signing, I feel, for Arsenal. I think it's a guy that will get better. He's only 26 at the moment, and I think Lacazette, for me, would represent a good signing. Yesterday, of course, on the show, we did a poll, and I asked you guys the question, who would you rather, Mbappe, Kylian Mbappe of Monaco, or Alexander Lacazette? 71% of you said you'd rather have Mbappe. 29% of you went for Lacazette. So Mbappe's the person you really like. Sound like that's what Wenger wants as well. He would really like to get Mbappe, but it's just the other teams that are after him and the sort of money that's being bandied about. Lacazette may be a cheaper option, but still a good option. There's rumours as well going around today about Hector Bellerin. I sort of spoke about this yesterday, where Bellerin was speaking to the Spanish media and didn't sort of dismiss speculation linking him with Barcelona. Now there's a Spanish outlet called, radio station called RAC1. They're reporting that Bellerin has agreed terms with Barcelona and that Bellerin has to now go to Arsenal and speak to Arsene Wenger to thrash out terms over a move. Now, this radio station are based in the Catalan, you know what I mean, which is the region where Barcelona are. They're affiliated. Well, when I say affiliated, you know, they support Barcelona. So they could just be speculating. But as I said, Bellerin didn't rule it out yesterday. I think the one thing is Arsenal are in a very, very strong position with Bellerin, that they've got him signed to a very, very long contract. And number one, if they did sell him, it'd be big money for Barcelona, who do need a right back. So there's no doubt that they are after Bellerin. But also, Arsenal don't have to sell Bellerin. They do not have to sell him. If they don't, they can play hardball and just say, you know, you ain't going nowhere. So I'm not overly worried at this stage. But then having said that, when Barcelona are in for a player, you have to be a bit worried. And let's not forget, I know Bellerin had a bit of a tough time at parts last season, but he's still a brilliant player. He's still a young player. And I think if we're going to be successful as a football team, we need to be keeping players like Hector Bellerin. Now, Arsenal linked today with a Real Madrid player today, and that's Marco Asensio. Now, he came on in the final of the Champions League the other night against Juventus, and he scored the 4th goal. He's only 21. And the Spanish outlet Diario Gol is reporting that he's unhappy with the role that he's playing at the moment. Well, bit part role that he's playing at the moment at Real Madrid. And both Arsenal and Liverpool have proposed deals to Real Madrid to sign him, or they would like to buy him. Again, I'm not sure about this one. This guy's a hot prospect. They really like him in Madrid, even though he's not getting the game time that he would like at the moment. I don't think he's the player that they would be looking to offload at the moment. There's other guys that they'll look to offload. But Arsenio, certainly, that would be a very good addition, very good player. And as I said, young, so, he's got lots and lots of game time ahead of him. But I just can't see Real Madrid selling him. Rumours again today about Alexis Sanchez as well. Those are going to go on and on and on throughout the summer until we get a deal done. Still no deal done to sign Alexis Sanchez. Today he's being linked again with Bayern Munich, and I think it's the Daily Stars reporting that Sanchez is likely to join Bayern Munich so that he can link up with Carlo Ancelotti. Okay. But all of a sudden he wants to link up with Carlo Ancelotti. I think this is just a story what they've just sort of put out there, put together. Bayern Munich have been interested. I think the problem what Bayern Munich have got at the moment is that they can't match the wages that Arsenal are offering. It's just under normal circumstances in years gone by, Alexis Sanchez would 100% be gone, because we wouldn't be able to match the wages being offered to him by all the top clubs around Europe. But this time round, and this is why we are kind of seeing a bit of change in Arsenal, they are offering him wages, massive wages, 200,000 pounds with add-ons that would take him up to nearly 300,000 pounds a week. Now, Bayern Munich are saying, listen, we ain't going to match that sort of wages. PSG is the other team that I thought would be the big threat to sign him. They've kind of called on it as well. They don't want to pay that wages. So there is a strong chance of him staying at Arsenal unless he tries to play hardball and try and force through a move. Or I suppose he could still just sit there and then try and, just walk away for a free next year. But certainly at the moment, it's not a foregone conclusion that he's going to leave. I think there's a very good chance that he could sign a new deal at Arsenal. But I think that's a lot of that as well is going to depend on what Arsenal's ambitions are for the coming season. I think that's got a lot to do with it when it comes to Alexis Sanchez as well. We have made a signing, and that is Sead Kolasinac. He signed yesterday. It was a real surprise, this one. We all knew that there were strong rumours linking us with him. But just out of the blue yesterday, they signed, the signing was made, it was confirmed. Kolasinac is signed for Arsenal, left back, still young, and a very good left back as well. From Schalke, comes very, very highly rated. And, his signing, what does that mean? That means that there's going to be, one of those left backs that are surplus to requirements, either Nacho Monreal, who came out yesterday saying, listen, I'm going to fight for my position. I'm going to, and he had a fairly good end to the season. The person who will probably end up leaving will probably be Kieran Gibbs. Kieran Gibbs might end up leaving with this. There's been lots of rumours linking Kieran Gibbs with a move away. Right, let's get into some of your comments from yesterday. Theo Brown. Now, I spoke yesterday on the show about Wojciech Szczesny and the fact that Roma want him, Juventus want him. Theo Brown says we should sell Wojciech Szczesny for a good amount. However, make sure there's a buyback clause. That's a good idea, but whether these sort of clubs that are looking to buy him will be up for that, they're looking to buy him for the long-term future. Noel Egazette says, I'd rather have Lacazette than Mbappe. And he gives his reasons. He says, number one, Lacazette is a proven and experienced striker. Number two, he's way cheaper. And number three, I think Mbappe still has 1 or 2 years at Monaco where he can get playtime and playtime. He's not that young. You think he means playing time and experience. If someone would sign him up now, as he'd be a bench warmer and it would ruin him and his potential. The thing is, and I think Arsene Wenger was sort of talking about this yesterday, if he went to Arsenal, he wouldn't be a bench warmer, he would start. And Wenger was sort of putting it out there saying that, wherever he goes to, he's got to play, week in, week out. And if you look at the teams that are interested in him, he played week in, week out at Arsenal. At Real Madrid, you're not sure if he played week in, week out. You know, at some of the other teams, Man United, he's been linked to some of those other teams. He may not play week in, week out. So that is something definitely he's got to take into consideration. Omstar official says Rob Holding, 25,000 a year. That's £480 a week. Now I know I messed up on this one yesterday. He meant to say that Arsenal offered Rob Holding a deal of £25,000 a week, not a year. £480, £480 a week. No, it's not a year. It's a week. £25,000 a week that they're offering Rob Holding with this new deal. Not bad if you can get it, eh? Nicholas Fairlie says, Lacazette or Mbappe, why not both? Instead, we'll probably stay with Sanogo and Giroud, unfortunately. Very funny, very funny. Listen, we won't get both, that's for sure. Sanogo's definitely leaving as well. What will happen with Giroud? He was making sounds yesterday saying that, listen, I want to play more regularly at Arsenal. That he was a bit disappointed that he only played a bit part last season. So again, what could his future be in the balance? Orbi says, am I the only one thinking Douglas Costa would be a great signing for Arsenal? Attainable for around £40 million, has an abundance of pace and an eye for a goal, would be brilliant on the left with Alexis up front. I think Douglas Costa would be a really, really good signing. You look at it and you say, there's Mahrez out there as well. Mahrez or Douglas Costa. I feel a bit more excited about Douglas Costa. I mean, Douglas Costa, he's so quick. He scores goals. I know Mahrez is as well. Two good players out there, two good options if Arsenal want to go for one of those two. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget to subscribe here to ArsenalFanTV. And don't forget to keep those comments coming in. We're going to be reading as many of them as we possibly can. Obviously, we get thousands on this show, but I'll try and get over as many. I'll try to read through as many of them as possible. There's been some great suggestions there of players that Arsenal should get this summer. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Subscribe to ArsenalFanTV.